breath, get half of it out, and squeeze.
Oh, whose truck that was?
See? Oh my god, that's why I went behind the...
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Inverness, Florida, this is Andy with Florida Gun Supply on episode 27 of our live Monday night show. Our episode 27 starts right now. Hit the thumbs up button if you're as excited as I am. Welcome. I don't own a gun shop. I lead a movement.
Andy Hallinan.
Andy Hallinan.
Andrew Hallinan, the owner of that Florida Gun Supply store.
It's not just about guns for us. It's about life and liberty.
The solution to violent crime is for good guys like you and I to unite, to get armed, get trained, and carry daily.
This guy's educated. He's an educated guy. He's speaking the truth. Took so much weight off my shoulders.
We're the kind of patriots you've always wanted to be. Join us. Welcome, guys. This is Andy with Florida Gun Supply on a mission to unite this country. If you are excited to support the Second Amendment and be here live with us on Monday night, hit the thumbs up button all across social media. We've got Chris Singer from Orlando. John Price, of course, says hello, Andy. Zachary Lee, good to see you. Tim Alexander from Texas as well. Good to see everybody. You know, every Monday night we get together and we use social media as a way to come together and unite, share ideas, share experiences, come together and build unity across the United States. And if there's one thing that this country needs, it is definitely that of unity. I completely think that we are heading in the wrong direction as a nation, and it is up to you and I to come together and make the country a better, safer place to live. I'm going to place this right here because this is not working. So we have some technical things that are going on that we are here for. We're just kind of getting used to this. So what I do is I actually read the comments coming through right on my cell phone here, and I can see all of the comments coming through. So I appreciate you guys commenting. Wayne from Illinois, Mikey Pantoja, what's up? And Amber Humphreys from Bronson, good to see you. William Thurman just joined, and Zachary Lee from North Dakota. Listen, guys, we are here to speak about the Second Amendment, how important it is, how important it is for us to stand up together and build unity. And so we are glad you are here. Linda Christensen, Charles Christensen, good to see you as well. Guys, one of the things that we've been talking about for a while is carrying concealed at churches, whether it's legal, what we should do, what we should do in case of an emergency. And Florida Gun Supply has created an entire program called the Church Shield Program. And if you go to church here in Central Florida, I want you to make sure that you get a copy. Send an email to Andy or Carissa in fact, send an email to Carissa at floridagunsupply.com if you're interested in getting a copy of our Church Shield Program to send to your pastor. But I've got some interesting information about deadly force incidents on faith-based organizations in the United States that have taken place between 1999 and 2017. It's really fascinating and tragic about everything that's going on in this nation, in churches that you have not heard about because it's Christians that are getting slaughtered. We've got Joe DeRozier, good to see you. Derry McBroom, pleased to see you. Billy New, of course, always good to see you. And Amber Humphrey says, got my concealed with you guys and loved it. Good, I hope that you carry daily. There have been 1,617 total DFIs, deadly force incidents, from 1999 to 2017. That's 1,617 church-involved deadly force incidents. Robbery, domestic spillover from a conflict, a personal conflict, mental illness, or gang-related has all related to those situations. And the total attacks where motives were discovered, of the 1,600, were only 1,250 where the motive was actually discovered. 56% of those used a gun, 15% a knife, and 5% explosive or fires. 5% used automobiles, and 16% used poison, beating, hanging, various objects, things of that nature. If you're angry about our churches across America being attacked, I want you to hit the anger button across social media right now. I am angry, and we need to do something about it. That's why Florida Gun Supply has launched our Church Shield program. what we are going to do is we're going to take churches that have volunteer programs and we're going to build them up and train them to do what they need to do in a deadly force incident, including the deadly force incident that happens 75% of the time. And if you support us going in and training churches, hit the thumbs up button right now. Jessica Beagle, Lou Caldwell, good to see you. Carla Lemker, that's a name. Welcome. Good to see you guys. So we're going to go in and we're going to change churches. Riley Hunter came to us from yesterday's class. He says, awesome class. He mailed out his permit today. That's awesome, Riley. So glad that you're here and so glad that you did that. We're glad that you joined and glad to be here. Now, ladies, gentlemen, and Gabriel Novotny, I want to talk to you about something that is happening across the country that we should also be angry about. We've got tons of stuff to show you tonight, tons of cool things to show you, tons of guns to talk about. But I want to talk to you about something that lit me up earlier on in the week. This is Joe Biden speaking to a college student that asked a tough question. Take a look.
Yeah, Brianna with a question about gun control.
Hello. So with the tragedy that just happened in Texas, my question is, how do you justify the Democratic view on gun control when the shooter was stopped by a man who was legally licensed to carry a gun?
Well, first of all, the kind of gun being carried, he shouldn't be carrying. Assault weapons are... I wrote the last serious gun control law that was written. It was law for 10 years, and it outlawed assault weapons and it outlawed weapons with magazines that had a whole lot of bullets, and so you can kill a whole lot of people a lot more quickly. Number one. Number two, it's just rational to say certain people shouldn't have guns. Now, the fact that some people with guns are legally able to acquire a gun and they turn out to be crazy after the fact, that's life. There's nothing you can do about that. But we can save a lot of lives, and we've stopped tens of thousands of people from getting guns who shouldn't have guns.
I completely agree with Joe Biden that some people should not have guns. Absolutely agree with that. There are some people that should not have guns, but I completely disagree with Joe Biden's assessment, first of all, that the guy that saved the day in Texas used an assault rifle. First of all, let's talk about that for a second. There was a guy in Texas that had an AR-15 and ran into a church, killing 20-something people, and he was stopped by a good guy who also had an AR-15. Now, the good guy that had the AR-15 has said in numerous interviews that he had to run into his house, grab his AR-15 from his safe, take his rounds, load it into magazines real quick, and then chase after the bad guy. And if he had had his gun loaded, ready to go, less lives would be lost. Now, to call this an assault rifle, where he was defending lives, I would call that a defense rifle. I would use that a personal protection rifle. I would use that as a personal life-saving rifle. This was not a rifle that was being used in an assault. This was a rifle used to protect human life. Brian Ammon says, people sleep easy at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. Be a sheepdog, not a sheep. Amen, brother. Gabriel Novotny says, I'm not a lady or a gentleman. I identify as an AR-15. In other words, Gabriel identifies as an assault rifle, according to Joe Biden. Rod Boggs says that man is an idiot, as well as John Price says that as well. And Jerry Bullock says Biden is a complete something. The only good thing to stop, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, period. I completely and totally concur. If we do not have the same artillery as the bad guys, if we don't have the same tools as the bad guys, we have a disadvantage, number one. But what you and I have that the bad guys don't is training. When you look at all of the good guys versus bad guys scenarios, you see a huge number of lives being saved by good guys with guns that know how to use them. That's why our motto here at Florida Gun Supply is get armed, get trained, carry daily. It's not get armed, carry daily. It's not carry daily. It's get armed. So buy a gun, get trained, learn the right way to use it, and carry it daily, because that is the only solution to violent crime. In those 13 or 15 seconds that the bad guy was inside that church, he was able to take out over 20 innocent people. And if people had been armed and trained in that church, it never would have went down like that. Hit the thumbs up button if you support concealed carry across this nation and you support the Second Amendment. I want to see everybody hit the thumbs up button all across this screen right now. Now, concealed carry is one thing. Having the firearm is one thing. Having the training is another. And we need to obviously have all the training that we can have to make sure that we are protected out there. Now, one of the other things that we can do, besides just having the firearm that we're always going to have on us, you know, this is the Ruger SR22, awesome little carry gun that we're going to talk a little bit about later, but is having the tools at your disposal. I made a couple of comments last week. This finally came in. I am so excited to debut this. This is for the first time I'm debuting AIM Sports sent me their blue laser. Da-da-da! I'm very excited. This will fit on the end of an SR22. It'll fit on the end of a Glock. It'll fit on the end of just about any gun with the Picatinny rail that is a little bit longer. Awesome. If you think the blue laser is totally cool, hit the thumbs up button. But it's totally weird because sometimes when your eye looks at it, it's blue. Sometimes when your eye looks at it, it's purple. Take a look. I brought it in the back room of my gun store here. Literally just brought it in the back room, playing around with it, and I filmed it. I fogged up the back room with my fog machine first, just so you guys could see it. In some areas of the laser, it's blue. In some areas of the laser, it's purple. If it hits the wall, it turns green and red. This is the most craziest thing I've ever seen. Depending on where it's pointing, how it's pointing, how you're moving it, it actually looks different colors. It is totally cool to have. And for $60, you can't beat that. Charlie Samples, good to see you joining. Carissa says, why is he bragging about writing even more gun control laws? He's only showing how more gun control doesn't work. I'm going to show you one more thing about that Joe Biden. We're going to jump off this blue laser now that we've got a lot of people commenting about this. I want to take a look at this Joe Biden thing again. Joe Biden's response to a college student asking a tough question on gun control, and we're going to talk about his comments.
Brianna with a question about gun control.
Hello. So with the tragedy that just happened in Texas, my question is, how do you justify the Democratic view on gun control when the shooter was stopped by a man who was legally licensed to carry a gun?
Well, first of all, the kind of gun being carried, he shouldn't be carrying. Assault weapons are... I wrote the last serious gun control law that was written. It was law for 10 years, and it outlawed assault weapons and it outlawed weapons with magazines that had a whole lot of bullets, and so you can kill a whole lot of people a lot more quickly. Number one. Number two, it's just rational to say certain people shouldn't have guns. Now, the fact that some people with guns are legally able to acquire a gun and they turn out to be crazy after the fact, that's life. There's nothing you can do about that. But we can save a lot of lives, and we've stopped tens of thousands of people from getting guns who shouldn't have guns.
So here's the deal. I agree with Joe Biden on some things. He's completely off as loony. He's the biggest idiot on the planet, but I agree with him on this. Some people shouldn't have guns, and even if they pass background checks, they shouldn't have guns. Now, I believe that you and I are on the front lines of making sure that people have guns that are legally and mentally able. You have a responsibility as a lawful concealed carrier that anytime that you're selling a gun to somebody else. Here in the state of Florida, you don't need any paperwork between you and somebody else. As long as you don't have reason to believe that they are a felon or they should not own a gun, you are legally allowed to sell that gun just as you would be legally allowed to sell this laser sight to anybody. You don't need any background checks or anything to sell a gun person to person. But what you have a responsibility to do is to make sure that the person that you're selling that gun to, you have a gut reaction. Do you feel like you can trust them? Do they make you feel weird? Are they creepy? Do they feel like they're just somebody that you don't necessarily trust? Do they feel like somebody that's not necessarily somebody that you would want to invite home to have dinner with your family? If you feel awkward or unusual for any reason, stop that gun sale. No matter how rude you feel, no matter how awkward you feel, no matter what, you should stop that gun sale, because you may be saving life by not arming somebody that really doesn't have the ability. And me, as a gun dealer, and Florida Gun Supply and gun dealers across the nation have responsibilities. We are on the front line. We are selling dozens of guns a week. We are selling guns to people here locally that we meet face to face. And we had an experience every week. Every week we have experiences where we deny gun sales to people. One gun sale or person that we denied last week just went absolutely crazy on social media. I'm going to pull up a picture
with a question
of this particular fellow. Take a look at this Facebook post that we made. Basically what happened, we had a creepy dude wearing a t-shirt similar to the one pictured here walk into Florida Gun Supply, and 10 seconds after we walked in, basically, I stopped teaching, and Carissa and I didn't even share eye contact, didn't even share a conversation, and we both agreed that this person was making us creepy. We didn't even talk. I went up and I addressed him and I said, you have a choice. You can either button up your shirt or get lost. And I said it just like that. And he chose to get lost. And then it led to this thing online where he wrote us a bad review, and I posted online asking, your opinion. So guys, I want to ask you while we're here in this video, do you believe that somebody that's creepy, not just the shirt, but the whole package deal? The shirt is one thing. We're talking about the whole package deal. Do you believe that we should deny gun sales to people or deny service to people just on the way that they look? A lot of people, I'm going to read through some of these comments on this thing. There was a lot of great comments that people responded. And Carissa said, I was behind the counter and I'm so glad you came up front. There have only been 2 other times that I had a weird feeling about someone since working at the shop, and I was right both times. So grateful you said something. So she was on board. And John Carroll Jr. says, I read a bunch of the comments, not all, but a bunch, so I apologize if this is a repeat. I'd rather you kick them out because of your gut feeling and have people hate you for it than you sell them a firearm and then the news, this guy shoots a dude on a rampage. Better safe than sorry. You might lose a few customers over this, but you have my support. And I want to see some of this, some other comments that takes a look at some of the people that disagree with you. Brendan Newman says, well, you're both right. If you want to make a judgment about someone, you got to let them do the same. Personally, I love clowns, including scary ones, and have several shirts similar to that. I'd probably react the same way as he did and take my money elsewhere too if it was me. So what we're seeing in the gun world is people just take money. People just take money for guns, and they don't think about it again. Susan Riddell, good to see you. Patrick Day Ford says, it's a gut feeling. Rather not sell a gun to a good guy than sell a gun to a bad guy. Linda Christian says, always trust your feeling. And Bill says, yes, I was in that class. Jessica Corbin says, I totally agree. Mickey says, you did the right thing. Sometimes you have to. If that person makes you feel uneasy, then something isn't right. That's exactly right, because at the end of the day, we need to make sure that people that we're feeling uneasy about do not have the upper hand. Take a look at what happened when some women decided that they were going to take the upper hand in their own store. Take a look. You can see this guy in the back with his hands in his pocket, kind of just chilling in the back here, looking all nervous, looking all sketchy, and basically the Metropolitan Police, and then he jumps. The Metropolitan Police Department seek the public's assistance in identifying this person of interest in a robbery incident. He's just pulling. These 4 women are yanking. They're going back and forth with the money. And he leaves with just about nothing. Take a look again. He's just standing in the back. He's looking around. He's got his hands in his pockets. He's looking left. He's looking right. He's not actually looking at anything in particular. He's just looking around. There's all of these people around, and he then jumps. But one of the things that we need to note here is I want you to look at his hands. I want you to look at his hands. The video edits out right before he jumps, but he's actually wearing gloves. He's actually wearing gloves. I want to tell you guys that if you see somebody coming into the store or anywhere with, their gloves on their hand like this, you need to be alarmed to take action immediately and be alarmed. But then they struggle and they struggle and they struggle. But guys, the wonderful thing is that they fight. They fight. I want you to hit the thumbs up button right now if you would choose to fight. Hit the thumbs up button if you would choose to fight in this scenario, because one of the things that we need to do is we need to get together and convince the criminals that we are going to do what it takes to take our country back, that we're not going to allow these criminals to have the upper hand just because they've gone out and bought a gun. Good guys like you and I need to unite, to get armed, get trained, and carry daily, and fight back. Jeff Hopton says, looks really inconspicuous with the latex gloves. Robert says, what a low life. Tim Farrell says, it's sad that the people behind him didn't lend a hand. And Carissa says, people always say, trust your gut, but then get mad when you do. I always tell women in particular to trust your gut and risk seeming mean because it may actually save your life. So many times women don't do anything when they feel uncomfortable and end up being a victim. Carmen Leanne says, my thing is, how is that man just sitting there? Well, all those women are trying to save the money. The man walks away. Shake my head. I want to play that again. I didn't even notice that myself. Let's take a look at that, and let's look for that situation here. Here he's going, oh, you're right. All these women are fighting this guy, and that man is just backing up. I don't want none of this. I don't want to deal with this. I'm out of here. This is ridiculous. Guys, when we stand up and we do something, when we stand up and jump in, and when we don't hesitate to react, this was planned to be later on in the show, but I'm going to show you here right now. This is the type of thing that we can do when we are alert of our surroundings, when we're paying attention, and when we don't hesitate to react. This happened in Colorado. A blind man is walking towards an oncoming train where a random pedestrian stops him just in time. Hit the thumbs up if you're glad that this man was saved by a random do-gooder pedestrian because he was aware of his surroundings, he was paying attention, and he did not hesitate to interact and engage. And that's what we need to learn, guys. That's what we need to learn, that we must always be aware of our surroundings, no matter where you are. It's not paranoid to have a swivel head, to be looking left, looking right, to know who's around you. It's not stereotype. It's not prejudiced to stereotype, right? When I say stereotype, what I mean by stereotype, I'm gonna do a quick Google search of the word stereotype so I can find the exact definition here. A widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type or person of a thing. I'm going to read that again. A widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. Stereotyping is, for instance, seeing a blonde girl, right? Or, a blonde guy. You're naturally, hey, Beth, good to see you. Naturally, you're going to say, oh, she's kind of ditzy. That's the stereotype. Well, you can also stereotype a bad guy. When you're walking down the street and you see somebody that looks like a bad guy, there is a high probability that they are more likely to be a bad guy than somebody that doesn't look like a bad guy. It's okay to stereotype in that manner. Now, we're not making a comment about stereotyping somebody based on their skin color. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is the whole package deal. Just like this guy with the Joker shirt, it wasn't just the shirt. It was the whole package deal that made us stereotype, make an assumption, and stop something that could have potentially been worse. Now, we lost a lot of followers for that. We lost a lot of people. We've had our own friends and family disagree with us because they're friends with this guy. But at the end of the day, we have to go with our gut. Being aware of our surroundings and proper stereotyping is a training and a skill that you need to save your life, just like this dad did with his baby. Take a look. Now, this is an off-duty cop who kills 2 thieves while defending with his baby in his hands. Take a look at this. Military police officer holding his son in his lap shot and killed 2 suspects inside of a pharmacy located in the city of Campo Limpo Paulista in Sao Paulo. Sergeant Rafael Souza of the 49th Metropolitan Battalion on Saturday afternoon, 18, the military police entered. In the center, it's hard because it's translated from Google Translate for you. While the clerk was attending his wife, 2 burglars with hoods and a gun came in, announcing the robbery. According to reports, one of the burglars with the hoods and a gun, one of the suspects, resident, pointed a gun right at this guy who was holding his baby, and that's when the police officer interacted. If you support lawful self-defense, especially when you are protecting your kids, hit the thumbs up button right now. But look at what he is doing. He is actually very, very well trained. He is keeping, at one point, a guy right next to him, take a look at this. I'm just going to play this again. Beth, I was not mentioning you when I was talking about the ditzy girl. Take a look here. He shoots around this guy. Now, is that the safest thing to do in the world? No, but if that's the shot you get off, make sure that you're not going to be able to shoot that guy, right? I mean, very, very, very close, but he was confident enough. And the other thing that you see in the self-defense world all the time, right? All the time. This gun is clear. I'm checking the chamber. It is clear. All the time it happens where people are using the gun And when they pull the trigger, they drop the muzzle. They pull the trigger and they drop the muzzle each time. This guy is not doing any of that. I'm going to play it again. He's not doing any of that. He is staying on target. He is squeezing that trigger straight back into the frame of the gun, which is a learned skill. Take a look. He is not dropping that barrel. He is taking control of the situation. Bang, bang, bang. He's dealing with it. His wife thinks to come up. She's putting her hands over her ears. She's saying, give me the kid, give me the kid, give me the kid. And he has the sound, sane process of mind to do that, and then goes back to engage and make sure that lives are saved. Michael Howell says, big problem in society is people stand by and do nothing to help others in a time of need, especially in danger. It's sad because they are definitely willing to pull out the phone and video these things as they happen. Hard to swallow this logic daily. Susan Rodell says, before I got my gun permit, the true story, I'm opening my truck before I got out of the, oh, this is an interesting one. I'm going to read this out. Susan says, before I got my permit, I'm opening my truck door. Before I get the door open, a guy is between the door and me. Scared me to death. Wanted money. I loudly told him to get out of my space. Yeah, that's an important one to, to definitely be carrying because we don't know. But that's the biggest thing, right? People look at our show and people actually, I get people that send me emails and text messages and comments and they say, you're so ridiculous that you're making people be in fear. You're making people be in fear. You're making people afraid by showing them these videos. We're not afraid. Hit the thumbs up button if you are not afraid, because I'm not. I'm not afraid when I walk to my car at night because I'm armed, I'm trained, and I carry daily. We don't have to be afraid. It is so enlightening. Part of our training is to be prepared of any situation. That's why we have a $22,000 use of force firearm training simulator. Take a look.
You're leaving work on just a normal day, and as you walk to your car, a thug with a knife appears trying to kidnap you. What would you do? Florida Gun Supply's $22,000 use of force firearm training simulator can help you get the skills you need to defend yourself in a real-life scenario. Our simulator sessions are normally $70 per person, but if you sign up with a friend right now, we'll give you both a 50% discount on your simulator session. So share this video and then sign up with a friend at www.trainwithafriend.com.
So our simulator is a $22,000 use of force firearm training simulator that we want to take mobile and we want to bring it to your church. Hit the thumbs up button if you're excited about that because we want to bring our Church Shield defensive training program to your church. I'm going to fast forward to the end of this thing where it talks about what we're actually going to do. We're going to spend 45 minutes in the classroom talking about the most deadly force incidents that occur. We're going to spend an hour on firearm fundamentals to make sure that no round will ever go off in the middle of a service. That would just ripple across the news. It would be a national tragedy, and it would make all of us Christians look embarrassed. Then we're going to use that simulator for an hour and a half, depending on the group size there. And finally, we're going to do 2 hours worth of hands-on deadly force incidents drills. And what I mean by that is that we are going to send a bad guy in, and we're going to tell the church leaders that the bad guy that's coming in during this training session, when it's not during a normal service, it's going to be completely after hours with just the team, we're going to send in a bad guy with a bat through the back door. But really, we send in a bad guy with a gun through the front, and we confuse them, we daze them, we do all sorts of events and scenarios to make sure that people are trained, armed, and ready to save lives. That is what it is all about. Candy Corner, good to see you. Candace Marie, I took the training so that I didn't have to be afraid anymore. Amen. Jeff Janet Deason, good to see you. Jeff Hopton says, Andy, how about talking about the Council for American Islamic Relations? I believe he's talking about. Marshland Despain says, I went through the Citizen Cop program in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and they allowed us to use their shooting simulator. It was very interesting to see how everyone reacted to that as well. I agree 110%. Guys, churches are on the front lines. Take a look at what just happened just over the weekend at a different church here. The New York City Police Department is asking the public's assistance identifying the individual depicted in the attached surveillance video in regards to a criminal mischief that occurred within the confines of the 75th Precinct. It was reported to police on Tuesday that this guy basically came over and just toppled it. This is going to be happening more and more. This will happen more and more. Churches will be under attack more and more and more. It's not just that this guy is being violent to a statue. This ultimately will lead to physical violence in this congregation. And if we do not get prepared, armed, and trained, we will be sitting ducks. That's one of the reasons that we do our bowling pin every other week. And I have an update on our bowling pin that I want to tell you all about. Take a look at our promo.
The goal of bowling pin shooting is to create a fun, competitive, and practical shooting experience that will sharpen your handgun skills under pressure. But everybody can expect an event that will improve your skills in the company of fellow shooters who are supportive. We want you to find out more at www.shootingteams.com.
Now, the benefit of the bowling pin shoot is very simple. You're around people that are watching what you're doing. You're shooting in a hurry. You've got to be accurate and you've got to be quick. This actually gives you some of the fundamental feelings that you'll need, like nervousness. Your palms will be sweaty. Your adrenaline will be going a little bit. It simulates the same physiological condition that you're going to be in a real-life scenario. Bill says, church training events is a terrific idea. I'm very supportive. Patrick DeFord says, but if I'm walking to my car after work and I'm carrying, I lose my job because it's not allowed to be carrying the building. Why I always park near middle of the front doors when I can. I don't like it, but I need to. Here in the state of Florida, you are legally allowed to carry at your place of work as long as it's not already illegal to carry, right? If they have just a policy against firearms, you are not breaking a law by carrying, but they can definitely fire you unless you need to use it, at which point you are protected to protect yourself. Jacob Novotny says, that would be really good to help you become more accurate. It definitely would be. Jerry says, it's time to put my son to bed. I'll have to watch the rest later. Good to see you, Jerry. Thanks for coming in. Very important that we talk a little bit about a Miami woman here. This one is for the ladies, all those ladies watching, all the ladies that are watching. I want you to comment below and tell me where you're located. Comment below where you're located, ladies, because this next video is for you. So this is a woman in Miami, Florida, that was approached by an unknown suspect that she didn't even know, who demanded the female victim's purse. Take a look what happens. She's walking along. He runs up to her, and he just starts hitting her with the pistol. He starts beating her brutal with the pistol. Summer Smith from Melbourne, Susie from Bontonville, Arkansas, Barbara from Brooksville, Jeff from Hernando, Jody from Ocala, Candace from Ocala, and Sheba from Inverness. Take a look again, guys. Look at what happens. This is just tragic. This happened in Miami just over the weekend here. Just over the weekend. She's walking down the road. This man, she's got plenty of time to kind of address the situation, kind of understand what's happening, and he just runs up and beats her in the head. Doesn't even give her a chance to respond, and he beats her and he beats her. Guys, we need to make sure that we understand completely exactly how many seconds you're going to need to engage and respond. Take a look at this video again, the same video. I want you to count how many seconds, right? I'm going to pause the video right here. How many seconds from where this man can be seen by her until she gets beat? How many seconds would she have had? Take a look. Comment below with how many seconds she has. There. So I count, my count is from right here where he starts running to right where he engages her. How many seconds did you guys count? I'm going to play that again. From right when he starts jogging up towards her. Boom. Alarm bells are off. Jacob says 10. Scott says 3. John says 12. Summer says 6. Jeff says 3. Amber says 5. Michael says 4. Guys, here's the deal. Greg says 6. 6. It looks like 6 is pretty much the average. 6 seconds, guys. 6 seconds. Your life can be drastically different in 6 seconds. And if you are not focused and understanding your surroundings, sober, ready, 6 seconds could change your life for the rest of your life. Hit the anger button if you are angry about this happening to a woman here in our country, in our state, in our community, in Miami, because I am absolutely, absolutely frustrated. And this is why you need to make sure that you take our class and sign up.
The movement of Florida Gun Supply is to arm and train as many people as we can so that now would be a safer America to live in, but the America that our children and our grandchildren live in will be safer.
Absolutely need to take our class because it's the first step in learning about firearms. Now, this is the portion of the video where we get to questions, and Kevin Parker says, "Isn't green the best?" Now, I want to talk about lasers for a second. Okay, we got a whole shebang, a whole slew of laser sights, optics. These things are amazing. Right on our website on Florida Gun Supply, look up Aimpoint. They're very inexpensive. They're like $60. $60 for an awesome clip-on flashlight that'll go onto a variety of different guns. And Kevin Parker says, "Isn't green the best?" Well, yes, until blue. Okay, red is great for night, not good for the day. Green is great for night. It's okay during the day, but blue is designed to be seen day or night, but to extend the battery life. Green lasers are known to be a hamper on the batteries. Blue lasers have the ability to keep that battery a little bit longer. Now, depending on what you look at or how you look at it, the laser goes blue, goes to purple in different shades back and forth, but it's totally, totally cool. And again, it'll strap right onto any Picatinny rail mount of just about any gun. Now, we had Scott Howley say, "Does the laser fit on the PT-111?" And Scott, I knew that you were going to be here tonight, so I happened to bring a PT-111 with me. I'm checking the chamber. It is definitely clear. And take a look. This will absolutely fit on the Taurus PT-111. It'll extend just a little bit off the front, but that's the sacrifice you make for spending $60 on a blue laser, brand new to the market. And ready to go. Now, they also sent some other stuff, and I haven't really played with this. This is the compact flashlight. This is the blue laser light. This is the green laser light. This is all listed at FloridaGunSupply.com, ready to go. Here is the compact flashlight as well. I'm looking for the subcompact. Here it is. This is the subcompact flashlight. I'm going to unbox this on video for the first time. Okay, so bear with me here. I may have to set it down a couple times, but this is AIM Sports. So the first thing you see are your foam in here. Then you take this off. Okay. Now, here is the flashlight. We're going to talk about what this is in just a second. But here's the flashlight. And it's really cool, guys, because I'm taking the flashlight out. I'm taking the battery out. Now, without any tools, without fumbling around, I'm taking the front of the flashlight of the AIM Sports subcompact flashlight. It's about $60. And I'm dropping the battery right in. And I'm putting the flashlight back together. Now, as I'm loading this up and I'm screwing this down, you can tell I haven't used any tools at all. This flashlight is ready to go. Super bright, 330 lumens, right? It's got a stroby mode if you want to give them a seizure instead of actually stopping them. But if you press it again, it is 330 lumens. It's doing some funky things with the green screen behind me. It can give away all our secrets of our studio. It is awesome. And the coolest part about it, I've got here an FMK 9mm. It is clear. The coolest part about it is you can put it on the front of your gun without any tools. Take a look. It's on. That's solid. It is on there without any tools. It's back off. If you're at home, you're going to bed at night, you've got your flashlight on, but you've been carrying all day, so you didn't want to carry your flashlight on. Before you go to bed, just clip it on. Get it ready to go. To activate that gun, you just push the bottom of that, activate the light, push the bottom. You're in business. Absolutely a wonderful laser for $60. You can't beat that. Oh my gosh, it's going to drop ship right to your door. Now, it's also got some other features on it. I haven't done much playing with these, but I believe that you can actually take the lens out. And instead of having that clear lens, I'm just going to play with it the first time. I've never really done this before, but there is a way. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you just take the front of it off like this, okay? And we can actually replace, instead of the clear lens, I'm going to put a red lens in. It's a little bit trippy, okay? Taking the red lens, literally just setting it right on top. I sound like a QVC guy right now. And then you just screw this right on here. And screw this back on. You didn't have to actually take this off to get the red on there. But you've got this ready to go. Now, this is the subcompact version, 330 lumens. The red is totally cool, totally trippy. Not as bright, but, you know, a lot of people use it for reading maps or anything like that. I mean, awesome. Strap it right onto a shotgun or anything like that. Totally, totally easy. And they come also with the other color, the yellow as well, in case you want to mix between the clear and not. Now, guys, the reason that this is important to kind of go over and know about is because, you know, the more tools, the more tricks, the more training that you've got, the better and more likely you are to save the day. Now, these are LED flashlights, okay? So these are not just flashlights that are, you know, that are just the regular bulbs. These are LED flashlights, which is why you get the crazy amount of brightness from a very small, compact size. So definitely something that we want to think about getting into. $60 drop shipped right to your door. Jeff says, like a military flashlight. John says, don't blind yourself, Andy. Jeff says, good for a party as well. Lynette says, I just went to Miami 2 times last week, and 20 years ago, before cell phones, we had beepers. And I was at the payphone and saw a man from the corner of my eye run to the car and lock the door and throw it in gear. I didn't care if I ran him over. Just one thing that happened over the years. Now I have my concealed carry permit and I'm shopping for a good carry gun on my body for times like this. I agree. That is important. That's why we're having our Black Friday sale, which includes these lasers and holsters. I can snap it on the front of an SR22 just as easily. I mean, this thing is an awesome, awesome flashlight. For $60. You definitely can't beat it. So I wanted to show you guys that. This is a really great flashlight to use. Peter says, I've got my concealed carry permit and I want my wife to take my class. Can I go with her? Absolutely yes. In fact, you will be our guest for the day. We won't charge you a dime. You will come with her. You will be her moral support. And you are welcome to be here. The only thing we ask you to do is leave your gun in the car. Not that we want to disarm you, but we want to make sure that we can't possibly have an accident in the class. All right, guys, if you want a free sticker tonight, we happen to find some free stickers in our treasure chest. Some old school Florida Gun Supply stickers. We've got a 2A sticker, FGS. We're going to give away all these stickers right here tonight. I want you to comment what gun you would like to see on your Black Friday sale. Comment below what gun you want to see with the Black Friday sale. Bradley says, is this compatible with the Sky CPX2? No, the Sky CPX2 does not have a rail in the front to hold it on there, so you will not be able to use that gun on the, that laser or flashlight on the Sky CPX2, but anything with a Picatinny rail is just fine. Jeff Hopton, you've just won a sticker courtesy of Florida Gun Supply. Congratulations. Make sure you send an email to Carissa at Florida Gun Supply with your address to send it. Lim Stambeck says we want to get a sticker. This is Lynn Stambeck sticker right here. On YouTube, Sean Gullo or Gullo or whatever your name is. Sean with the XDS 45. He says, I definitely want you to win a sticker. Tony Bilfuco, you've won a sticker, courtesy of Florida Gun Supply, the 2A one right here. Congratulations. You see anybody else you want to give a sticker to? You see any more? All right. Dalton Brown, we're going to give you a sticker as well. Megan Taylor, stickers coming to you. All right. Charles Wheeler, you've won a sticker. Send an email. Everybody that's won a sticker, send an email to Carissa at FloridaGunSupply.com. She will make sure that she gets your sticker sent out. Joe Hudson, Kevin Parker, John Cutchins Jr., Tim Alexander, and Tim Taylor. Congratulations on stickers. Summer Smith, sticker. Janet Deason, sticker. Rebecca Hooker, we love the last name. You've won a sticker. All right, guys. Now, I want to go over a couple more things while we answer these questions, guys. Send your questions on through. Jeffrey says, are you going to be opening this weekend after Thanksgiving? I live in Fruitland Park, and I have never been to your shop. Would love to come meet you in person. I have not. Are we open on Saturday this week? We are open on Saturday from 10 to 2. 10 to 2 on Saturday. No earlier or later than that. Our Black Friday sale. Guys, hit the thumbs up button if you're excited about Black Friday. Our Black Friday sale starts at 10 a.m. on Friday morning. That's online and in store at 10 a.m. Everything will be discounted. Everything will be discounted at 10 a.m. Now, I also just got shipped from AIM Sports. I was waiting to do this with you guys here. AIM Sports sent me another care package with all of the new orders. I want to show you exactly what's in here. We're going to open it together so you guys see exactly what's in here. All right. Drum roll, please. Everybody do the drum roll. Jacob Novotny, figure out how to do the drum roll. Here we go. Jessica Beagle says, what do I miss? Had to put my son to bed. Jessica, not too much. You are good to go. All right. Oh, Jessica, yes, you missed that you want a sticker, Jessica. Jessica Beagle. All right, we've got the tactical red laser. And again, these are like $60. Tactical red laser to fit on the front of any rifle Picatinny rail. On FloridaGunSupply.com, you can take a look at those. They're awesome. We've got another compact flashlight, 330 lumens with the mount. The weight is 2.7, the length is 2.75 inches, weight is 2.5 ounces. I mean, these things are super lightweight, super easy to put right on the front of your gun, any of your guns. And again, this one is the compact, so it's a little bit longer in length, but still, I believe that this one should still fit. Again, this is clear, right on the front of an SR22. Absolutely fits perfectly right on the front, and it makes it very, very easy. You don't have to use any tools whatsoever. Clip it on and off when you want to. You know, just another thing to have with you when you're carrying, especially if you go to the movie theaters or anywhere else where you need to be able to see. That's another one of these compact lasers. Okay, another. All right, we've got the paperwork for this. All right, again, we've got our subcompact flashlight here. All of this is in stock and ready to ship. Our green pistol laser light, I haven't had time to experiment with that just yet. John Price says, just mail it to my house, Andy. And Chris Taylor says, just got off work. Did Andy do the firearm giveaway? I don't think that we are ready for a new firearm giveaway yet. Let me go over to FloridaGunSupply.com and take a look at how many days we've got left on our free gun. I don't think that we have a giveaway coming up just yet. I think we've still got another week or so. We've got 26 hours left, guys. We've got 26 hours left. Hit the thumbs up button if you are excited about the 26 hours we've got left to win the free Ruger LCP2. It's an awesome carry gun for this giveaway. And keep in mind, guys, that in our Black Friday sale, we've got some really cool stuff, including the FMK 9mm that has the Bill of Rights inscribed on the outside of it. It is totally one of the coolest guns out there. But we've also got some Smith & Wessons that are on sale, and they are hot to trot. Take a look at this.
Matt Buckingham, President of Firearms for Smith & Wesson, and I'm here to discuss our new winter promotion. Buy any new Bodyguard 380 or new Smith & Wesson revolver between November 15th and December 31st, and you'll be eligible for a $50 rebate. This also includes our popular Performance Center products. For the first time, Smith & Wesson will offer a 100% online rebate process. Consumers will be able to review the rebate status almost immediately. In addition to our new website, we've expanded our phone and chat support. We've extended our hours so that we can better assist our customers. We hope that you'll find our new system quicker and easier to use. For more information, visit the Smith & Wesson website.
Awesome. Smith & Wesson has great rebates, $50 off right now, $50 off. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380 or 38 Special or any of Smith & Wesson revolvers between November 15th and December 31st. And to rebate them, you don't even have to mail them out anymore. You just go right online and get it. Now, in light of that, I have reduced all of the prices of the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard series on FloridaGunSupply.com. Type it on the search bar, Smith & Wesson, or type it on the search bar, Bodyguard, and you'll find it. We've reduced that price. So you literally will be buying a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380 at what it costs me to stock my shelves with it if you go buy it right now. But they're limited stock, so make sure you hurry up and do that. And I saw a question come through. Robert says, the heck with the gun giveaway, Andy. You're always giving and nobody gives back to you. How many gave when you needed help? Guys, I went through a 4-year divorce and custody battle, and I had 2 separate GoFundMe accounts, and you guys helped me retain custody of my son. Even though we do all sorts of Second Amendment things and all sorts of controversial things with guns, because guns are naturally scary, I was given a chance to be a dad thanks to you. I want you all to give yourselves a pat on the back. Hit the thumbs up button right now, and I want to say an overwhelming thank you to each and every one of you that had something to do with that. Thank you so much. Lynette says, yeah. Colleen says, from Homosassa. Gabriel says, I love my Smith & Wesson. And Timothy says, Andy's the man. Great company, great business. Thanks for coming, guys. This is the portion of the video where we are ending tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining. This is Andy with Florida Gun Supply, uniting this country in ways that we have never seen before. As always, our message is to get armed, get trained, carry daily. Long live the Republic. and be here on Friday morning for our Black Friday deal. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you soon. I always miss that end button. There it is. What just happened? What just happened on this video? The whole thing just went kaput. We're muted. We're out. We're done. Yeah, but it's like 15 or 20 seconds behind. This wussy guy. Yeah. This wussy guy. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Oops, I ended the video. Nobody's going to hear us do that. Oh. So I just cannot believe how awesome tonight's show was. I thought it was great. The only problem is nobody got my joke. Yeah, true. Nobody got my joke. Ladies, gentlemen, and the Novotny brothers. I thought that was the best part, you know?
They're from Ohio, so obviously something's wrong with them.
Ohio. Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Janet Deason, there's a great story behind her. She was one of my first handicap people. She helped me design the range to make sure it was handicap accessible. It was great. She's in a wheelchair, phenomenal lady. Helped me design the whole thing. It was awesome.
You still have no parking lot. It's covered in sand.
There's a wheelchair right now. Made out of concrete. Yeah, I accidentally killed Hot Mike on Facebook. Record. That's a record. Everybody on YouTube, we have made a record tonight of viewers on Facebook. Zandy with Florida Gunsupply. Get armed, get trained, carry daily. Long the Republic. We love you all.